What's going on, everybody? It is WebsterStyle and Brian Sapph from the NRW Checkpoint here with another trailer reaction. This time, we're looking at Sharper from A24 dropping on Apple TV Plus.
Let's go.
Sir, the police are here.
Police?
Get your hands off me!
Detective, can we talk about this?
I'm going to pay you for your time.
She's a good actress, that lady there.
Stop.
Oh, it's Bucky.
Not a cop. This is what my son does. He plays these games.
All that work for $1,000. If you're going to steal a lot.
He got a brother. That was real, like, loss of breath.
What are you doing here?
Just wanted to say hi.
Had a good time.
All right, cool. See you around, Dad.
I always assumed my son would inherit all this. He doesn't have the fortitude. He's weak.
Whoever said money can solve your problems must not have had enough money to solve them.
You like him a little bit.
Of course I like him. He's a billionaire.
Throw some I should be a savage. Who would have thought it turned me to a savage?
We're celebrating.
What exactly are we celebrating?
Billions of dollars. Roll up your sleeves. Trust me. We can't cheat an honest man. That's why we never feel sorry for tomorrow.
Oh, not her playing the game.
I really like you too.
Better fall in love and feel
We're all
remorse.
human. Just doing the best we can.
You cause your mother anguish, and I will not have it.
She wants me gone.
How do you think this ends?
Not well.
What did you tell him? I'm gonna take $1 billion and aim it in your direction. Is this real?
This is real.
How can I be sure?
Kind of just got to feel that. Just remember what I said.
Oh, it's in theaters, so this is a movie.
Yeah, I thought it was going to
Okay.
be a TV show.
All right, so it was in theaters, what did it say, February 10th or something? Anyway,
February
theaters versus
10th.
Apple TV. Okay. All right, because I thought it was a series, and the trailer could have been better, in my opinion.
Could have made me realize it was a movie instead of
Yeah,
a show.
that too, yes. I'm not overly impressed, especially with the star power that's there. It's not seeing John Lithgow in movies again. I didn't see him in anything for a while. Yeah, I'm not overly impressed with it. I would say I wait for it to come on streaming, but it's come on Apple TV, and that doesn't make me want to sign up for Apple TV to watch it.
I mean, we have to be honest about it, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of share your same sentiments. The story, I mean, they about to set this boy up, I guess, and try to take his money, like using this beautiful woman to fall in love. You know, I feel like I know where the plot is gonna go, but then at the same time, I don't, because what's Julianne's role in this thing as the mom dating the billionaire person? And then the girl is gonna date the son, and they both trying to get like. There's questions I have, and I want answers to. I'm just off put just a little bit, because I would thought this would have been a series. Now, if it would have been a series, not on Apple Plus, but you know, because Netflix got a bunch of stuff over this, like, or a bunch of stuff like this over there. Not saying it would get lost in the fray, but I'm saying like could have been something to really highlight. I don't know. What is it about Apple TV Plus that I'm just like not interested? Maybe it's the color. Maybe they need to come up off of the black and white and sparse it up a little bit. I don't know.
I'll tell you this. I think I know what it is. I'm thinking of, we talked in another reaction about the movie with Samuel Jackson and I forget his name, Falcon. Anyway, and how that looked interesting. I would say that is probably the only thing that is dropped on Apple TV that I've seen, and I said, "Oh, I might want to watch that." It's something about how they present their shows. This is what I get, and even from this one, especially when I thought it was a series, I said to myself, "Why are they trying to so hard to be HBO?
Okay.
That's what I feel like. I feel like every sort of show they come out with in their presentation, everything feels so homogenous with how the trailers are cut. Everything down from the Sharper trailer reminded me of that trailer with the show from M. Night Shyamalan that dropped early on. All of their drama, suspense, all kind of melds together. All the comedy ads, trailers remind me of Ted Sasso or Lasso, whatever the show is everybody
Ted
loves.
Lasso, yeah.
All bleeds together for me. They're in their presentation for me. It doesn't come across as there's anything that is uniquely on its own compared to everything else from the service. And as a whole, they are trying so hard to be prestige TV, like in HBO, which has worked decades to get to this point, to be prestige TV. Look, we were talking about Sonya Shawns in another, trailer reaction. A show like The Wire only comes along every so often. A show like The Sopranos only, and let's be frank,
Entourage,
HBO got those shows because they were the only, really, it was HBO, Showtime, Cinemax. Well, Cinemax don't really count because they're all the same company. You didn't have a lot of pay prestige channels back then when these shows came on.
Right.
Now everybody's trying to be a prestige channel. And they all fall flat, and Apple TV is falling flat. They got one big hit, maybe one movie, and that's about it. Like, really, let's think about the Emmys and the Oscars. Apple TV is not up there with Netflix's or HBO's or whatnot, as far as Emmys, as far as Oscars. And they're trying really hard to be. There's no knock against them because they try and make their money. I don't blame them. But as a consumer, as someone who has been a fan of movies and television my whole 44 years in existence, there's something that's not right about how they present things, at least to me.
Yeah, I can agree, which is quite weird given that it's Apple. Apple does an amazing job at presenting their products. Like, I tune in to watch their WWDs, what they call them, world, I forget. Well, when they talk about all the new Apple products coming out or whatever, and they present it so well and so beautiful and clean cut and crisp. But for whatever, they just, like, you could tell they paid for the movie and they're putting it on Apple TV Plus. There's no, maybe that's the problem. Maybe they don't have a studio. Maybe they're just buying a bunch of content and labeling it underneath their banner. Because you think about it, Netflix, they have studio access. Same thing with HBO and Stars even. Like, they can do their own, they can make their own originals, like, genuinely. I feel like Apple just buying stuff and putting it on there.
They have no identity.
Yeah. They new in the TV space too, which is crazy.
That's the problem. They new in the TV space trying to act like they've been here for a while. And it's not working right for them. Netflix took a long time, even though they're shooting themselves on the foot with the decision they're making with their programming and canceling things that are good before people get a chance to really watch them. That's a whole nother conversation. Even you put things like Stars. Stars worked a really long time before they got shows that people like, oh, this show is good. There are a lot of these channels, it took them a while to find a hit, and they didn't act like they were something they were not before they got to that point. Apple is consistently trying to act like, because again, it's a streaming service, so it has to. Apple TV Plus has a case of imposter syndrome, and it really is an imposter though. But it's trying to get you to give its money, so it needs to act like an imposter, so you can give that $5.99 or $6.99, whatever it is a month, to watch their programming. So, side note, I even watched on my recent travels, I watched the Fraggle Rock show.
The what?
I couldn't get past the first 10 minutes.
Oh wow!
There was something not right, and that's an Apple TV exclusive. So that's why I brought that up.
Okay,
there's something off, and it's not because I'm 44 watching a kid show. Fraggle Rock is Fraggle Rock. Fraggle Rock is universal. If you watch Fraggle Rock before as a kid, you can watch it now as a grown-up. Easy. I couldn't watch the new one.
They need whatever's going on in the marketing department with the branding and stuff. it's time for a revamp. And the
Yep.
reason I'm saying that is because Paramount is not prestige television either, but they've been able to launch a streaming service that's garnered some attention because of the programming that they chose to buy
Yes.
and promote to us
Yes.
and film themselves. Same thing with Peacock. Like that's literally Universal and what was it, NBC
Yeah.
saying we just need a streaming platform. We know them for doing television.
They're making
shows.
smart moves. But
And
this is the
movies,
thing
yeah.
with all of those though. This is the thing, and we could be all night.
Right.
They have existing IP to use.
Mhm.
Think about Peacock, the whole Bel Air thing, which again we talked about
Ah.
before, spawned from that.
Mhm.
Look, even though it didn't last past the season, it brought back Punky Brewster, something that my generation grew up with. The Saved by the Bell got a reboot. They had IP series that they could use and shape for a new generation. Apple has nothing.
Right.
They have no
And
IP. They have no history of television, of movie making.
there
So
you go.
there's literally nothing there to grab. Even Paramount is striking gold with their new series. Well, look, I'm doing even though I'm not paying at the moment, I'm doing exactly the thing I would never do. I'm paying for Star Trek. Why? Because I love Star Trek.
Mhm.
And I was adamant I would never do this. Never. But you know
Yeah.
what? Picard starts in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Even season 3 is fucking horrible like season 1 and 2. I will watch it till the end because I love Star Trek. So I say all that to say we're gonna wrap this up. Sharper, it probably is going to be a lot better than this trailer looks
there
like,
you
considering
go.
the star power and considering the studio behind it. They made some really top-notch films, but this trailer just doesn't do it. And Apple
Yeah.
TV Plus needs to find its identity instead of trying to being like HBO, because it's ruining people's idea of even giving them a chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. In terms of Sharper, like I said before, there's things about the plot that I want to understand. There's intrigue there.
Yeah,
I'm like intrigued at the plot of the movie, but I attribute that to A24, just them being an incredible studio. Either way, I really thought this was gonna be a series, and they kind of took away it took away from it, really, because now I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna get the whole story in hour and 55 minutes. I want this to build out. It seems like there's a lot that needs to happen, and I don't think it's gonna be enough to fill out a movie. Well, I don't think a movie would do it justice. So that's my gripe with it, and I feel like Apple should have been like, watching this trailer, like, this need to be a show. Why is this a movie?
I agree.
And they just didn't. It was like, it's A24, let's buy it. But hey, shout out to A24.
Right.
Great content over there.
Exactly.
I hope this does, decent or whatever. I feel like because they give Apple TV away pretty much, like they bundle it in so many different things that Apple has underneath its belt, that somebody is definitely gonna watch it and they're gonna enjoy it. Because I feel like there's a good story there. I don't know. I'm not called to it for whatever reason, but I really think it's because they package it up into a movie instead of like really writing out a solid series and like going with that. But
I agree with you, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So that's our take on Sharper dropping in theaters and then on Apple TV Plus. Make sure you definitely sharpen your wits, sharpen your prowess by continuing to follow Nerds Rule the World here on YouTube, but of course on social media at the NRW, on Twitter at New Release Wednesday, on Instagram, of course. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube.
And not Apple TV Plus. All right.